What's up, everybody? Josh here from Triforce of Chaos, and welcome to a possible new series that we're going to be testing out called Flashback. The idea behind these videos is me and Aaron, and eventually possibly Will, are just going to pick some games that we used to play in our younger days that we have a lot of nostalgia for, or any type of sentimental memories, and just kind of share our story with you. So as you can see, I'm playing Sonic 3, which originally came out on the Genesis, but I'm playing the one on the Xbox Live Arcade. And I'm playing as Tails. Tails is kind of special to me. Growing up, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends, especially at school. I was kind of a nerd, smart, and I was also kind of short, like shorter than everybody else all the time. And I don't know, when we were probably about 7, 8, maybe 9 years old, somewhere in that area, that's when Sonic the Hedgehog started getting really popular with everyone. The games were popular, the comic series was popular, he had 2 or 3 cartoons on TV, and depending on which cartoon you watched, or if you read the comics, would depend on what type of backstory and role Tails had. When he was introduced in Sonic 2, they didn't really give him a reason to be there. He was just this NPC that followed you and didn't really do anything. You could play as Tails solo in Sonic 2, but all it really was a reskin of Sonic that might have been just a little bit slower. The NPC version could fly, but if you played as him, you couldn't fly. And when Sonic 3 came out, they actually gave you the ability to fly and swim if you played as Tails. But anyway, depending on which cartoon you watched, Tails was either a part of the team, or he was basically just this little kid that Sonic ran across and now he just kind of babysits. Even in the what is now known as the Sonic Saturn cartoon, even though he was part of the team and took part in the missions, everybody kind of treated him like a little kid who didn't really need to be there. And I kind of connected with that, because when I would be at school, I'd always get picked on or left out of stuff. So it's almost like I kind of knew how he felt. So when this game came out, or when we'd be at recess and pretending to be Sonic and Knuckles and all that, I would always pick Tails, and there would always be big arguments about who got to be Sonic or who got to be Knuckles. But nobody ever really argued about who was going to be Tails. Nobody else wanted to be Tails. And, that was fine with me. Of course, this was before, Sonic Adventure and Sonic Heroes and Sonic 06, where they kind of turned Tails into an annoyance. And, yeah, between pretending to be Tails at recess, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in some videos before this, but like, when I would be home and playing video games, occasionally I would pretend to be the actual character. And, you know, it was always cool to like play this game while pretending to be Tails, and you know, that was me on the screen, and I'm the one that's doing all this. And I fucked up. I didn't mean to jump back there. But yeah, pretty much every chance I would get, I would always be Tails. And like, I read the comics and always looked up pictures. Like when the internet first became a regular household thing, and write little short stories and do drawings of Tails, and you know, basically it was a big part of my childhood. And you know, depending on which backstory you go with, he's basically somewhere between the ages of like 8 and 12. So he is this little kid, and he's basically always pushed off to the side and has to do things on his own, or he gets left behind, because even when you play as Sonic and Tails for the campaign, you know, Sonic always leaves them behind. Half the time you don't even see Tails through the entire game. But, you know, that's kind of how I felt. And whenever I realized that about him, it kind of clicked that, you know, that's how I get treated. But somehow Tails overcomes it all and, you know, beats the game. So that's kind of like an inspirational thing for me to, you know, overcome being left out of stuff and being picked on a lot, and, you know, just beat whatever challenge was in front of me. And, you know, like, I'm pretty sure that everybody that's played games or, you know, reads comics or, I guess, plays sports or whatever, has that one person or character that, you know, they connect with in some way. And you know, if you've got a character that you connect with, you know, leave a comment below and share your story. You know, especially if it's like a video game character, because a lot of people don't understand it, except for other gamers. And, I don't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning, but when we do this segment, we're not really looking to complete the game or, you know, do any specific tasks. It's just kind of, you know, be a little bit nostalgic. But yeah, that's basically my story about Tails. And in a way, you know, this game, Sonic 3. Because Tails did serve a little bit bigger purpose in this game. You could still play the entire game without ever seeing Tails, but he does have a couple of paths that are exclusive to him. And, you know, that made it a little more fun and all that. But yeah, that's my story. You know, I didn't have the greatest childhood, but I'm really glad that I discovered this series, and more specifically this character, because without Tails and the lessons that I learned through being slightly obsessed with him, I don't know how my life would have turned out. And you know, this game surrounds some of the few, you know, good times of my childhood. And, you know, as bad as it was, I wouldn't go back and trade it for anything. But I think I'm going to beat this little sub-boss, and that'll be the end of the video. So, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you're interested in this series that we're trying to do here. You know, if you are, comment below. Hit the like button and let us know. And you know, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And check out our new merch shop. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. All those links will be in the description below. And if you've never played this game, you know, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's a pretty good platformer. Amazing soundtrack. And, you know, this is one of my all-time favorite games. And, you know, if you check it out, hopefully you'll understand why. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Thanks for listening. And we'll catch you in the next episode of Flashback. Let's stop.